Hi guys, it's Crystal with Design Bundles. Today I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to sublimate your own badge rail. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go over some of the supplies that you're going to need for today's project. So one of the first things that you're going to need is a badge rail, of course. So I've got this little badge rail, and included with this is a little round circle, and that's what we're going to be able to sublimate on. So as you guys can see here, it comes in its own little bag. You just can tear this right off, and then it's got a plastic coating that you definitely want to make sure you remove, which we will do in a second. So they come in a box like this, so you can repackage them for resale if you would like. All right, so as you guys can see, this is our file today. This is AR Arkansas. You can get these for 1+ credit, so you can find your own state if you guys are a Plus member. All right, I've got my Cricut Easy Press 6x7, my pad, as well as some parchment paper. And then I'm going to go ahead and start to peel off this plastic. So usually when you're working with sublimation items that are metal, they have this clear coating, and what it's for is to protect the surface during shipment as well as storage. Now, if you do not touch this, you don't have to clean it with alcohol or anything. You don't want any fingerprints, so be careful when removing that. If you do touch it, then I would clean it with some alcohol. Next up, we're going to take some heat-resistant tape. I've put the circle face down, so I have the white face down on the design here. And then I just want to make sure this is nice and even, and then I'm going to apply my tape all the way across just like so, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. Now, the way that we're going to press this is going to be in the opposite direction. So as you guys can see here, you want to make sure that your design is just a little bit smaller than your circle. So I'm going to go ahead and apply another piece of parchment paper. We're going to do 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Like I said, I'm using my Cricut Easy Press, my 6x7 today, and this is absolutely perfect for these smaller projects. Now, if you were doing several badge rails at one time, you could have actually designed multiple of these inside of, say, for example, Sawgrass Creative Studio or Designscape, so that way you would have a bunch of these on one sheet. So say, for example, you put, 20 of them all the way across an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You can use your bigger, heat press or bigger easy press, or cut that in half and do half the sheet, half the other sheet. So with a production, if you were making these for business purposes, you could accomplish quite a bit of these at one time. You don't have to do one little circle at a time, but if it's just for individual projects for yourself, you definitely can, as you can see here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish pressing this here. And like I said, once again, 400 degrees for 60 seconds. I'm using medium pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and lift that up and remove our parchment paper. Now keep in mind when it comes to the metal here, use some tweezers or get your heat resistant gloves, or even just wait until it completely cools down to mess with it, because this is going to be super duper hot. Metal gets very, very hot, as you guys know. And then also be careful with your tweezers, because you can scratch this surface. So I do highly recommend, like for example, here's my granite countertop. You can actually cool that down first and then peel it off with your hands. And it just cools it down a whole lot quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that excess tape here. And then we are going to be ready to put this together. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up here really quick so you guys can see how super cute this is. Now you can add a background color. So if you don't want this to be white, inside of your software, you could change the background, bring in a shape like a circle, and then change that, whether you want pink or whatever it may be. But I love the way that this came out. I think it came out super cute. So let's go ahead and put it together. Now, what you're going to notice here on your badge rail is you're going to be able to just put it in just like so. What you want to make sure is there is a direction of this badge rail. You can't just pop it on in any direction. You want to make sure that it is going up and down with the pulley there. So I'm going to go ahead and use my tweezers here to remove this protective coating over that adhesive. So you also want to keep your fingers off that adhesive, because that could make this not last over time, because it will have the oils from your fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and press this. You want to firmly press this in there. Once again, just make sure it's nice and straight when you lay that down before you start pressing, because before you really press this in, you'll have a few seconds to shift that in case it moves. So as you can see, it's a super nice badge rail. This would make a great gift for a nurse or anybody that works with a badge rail for their t-shirt. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.